Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leon Weinstein. This is Common Sense program, and today is December 13, 2023. We will talk about Jack Smith, Trump's lead prosecutor, who, according to a whistleblower complaint, is a criminal who extorted millions from the people he investigated. Nice, right? Today, I received from a confidential source a copy of whistleblower's complaint that was sent 2 weeks ago, on November 27, 2023, to Michael Horowitz, who is the Inspector General of the Department of Justice. Copies of this letter were sent also to other inspectors of law enforcement agencies such as CIA and others. John Francis Moynihan, says the cover letter, is a former employee of the US Drug Enforcement Agency, a recognized expert in international money laundering and financial investigations. Mr. Moynihan claims that he represents several employees of DEA and other agencies who, together with him, investigated the matter he's writing about. Here is the essence of the complaint. During investigation of war crimes in Kosovo, Hague Tribunal-appointed prosecutor Jack Smith extorted millions of dollars from wealthy Kosovo residents in exchange for promising to remove their names from his lists, his files, or reduce their sentences. And yes, this is the same Jack Smith who is currently investigating or as some say, cooking the case against the former president of this country, Donald J. Trump, accusing him of instigation of the riots and unarmed putsch aimed at usurping as a dictator the US government. From the John Francis Moynihan testimony, is clear that higher-ups knew that Smith was dirty. And this is my take, hired him despite or maybe even because of that. But let's continue. From May 7, 2018 to November 18, 2022, Jack Smith was a Hague-appointed lead prosecutor of war crimes in Kosovo. On November 18, 2022, he was appointed to serve as special counsel to investigate Trump and, my addition, to prevent Trump from running for the White House in 2024. The evidence compiled includes tape, recorded interview with Smith's subordinate Alan Tiger, as well as affidavits of 3 witnesses who all have personal knowledge in the matter. 2 of those people are well-known journalists, husband and wife, who worked for such known media companies as BBC, Sky News, CNN. There is also testimony of the infamous federal agent, ex-head of the counterintelligence unit of FBI in New York, Charles McConigal, who recently was indicted of accepting money from Russian oligarchs and from Kosovo war criminals. The affidavits are attached to the complaint. Among people who had first-hand knowledge of Smith's crimes are Milaim Zeka, a journalist who now represents Swedish TV. Zeka took part in meetings where Smith or his staff promised to reduce sentences in exchange for money or to take known criminals off the lists. Zeka's wife, Edlira Oifalia, works with the Albanian TV. She identified a CIA agent, as he himself called, Faik, sometimes he called himself Falik or Felix, Emery. Emery was a go-between Smith and potential victims, people from whom Smith extorted bribes. Khalid Sahidja, businessman from Spain, born in Kosovo, witnessed interaction between Smith and Russian oligarchs. Smith discussed with them assistance for getting off the US sanctions in exchange for considerable amounts of money. The Russians were offered to pay money into the Black Operations Fund, as Smith put it. Khalid didn't know that was the CIA's fund or an invention of Smith and his partners in crime. Can you imagine? The United States is imposing sanctions to stop war in Ukraine, and those scoundrels offering Putin's oligarchs to get off the hook by little donation to their own pockets. Khalid also outlined Smith's discussions about receiving from Russian billionaire Potanin materials compromising Hillary Clinton. Again, he was witness of the discussions between Smith and Russian billionaire Potanin about materials that are compromising Hillary Clinton. Khalid didn't know what documents and how Smith knew that Potanin had them. Another billionaire, Mikhail Prokhorov, paid per Khalid 7 million British pounds into the same Black Operation Fund in exchange to promise to take him off the sanctions. Khalid also testified that Smith coached him what and how to answer possible investigations or in court. Another personality is Darko Perovic, former head of the Special Anti-Crime Unit of Montenegro. Darko testified that Smith's representative told him that many higher-ups in his country, will be indicted, and the country will not be able to join the European Union unless they pay Smith 100 million US dollars. Otherwise, as Faik Imeri said during their meeting in the Park Hyatt Hotel in Zurich, some people will be arrested. There was, per affidavits, an elaborate extortion scheme where those who committed war crimes were offered to pay the prosecutors from the United States of America to get out of jail or not to be tried at all. Other alleged extortion scheme was to find wealthy individuals who didn't commit any crimes and tell them that unless they pay, their names will be included, they will go to jail and their properties confiscated. Among questions Moynihan and his group were unable to investigate by themselves are: did the Department of Justice know, and if yes, who knew? What evidence about Hillary Clinton and her crimes Smith was trying to get from Potanin, and did he get it? Where the 7 million British pounds from Prokhorov and all other payments from rich Kosovans went to? Who used the funds? And who near the top of the US government was powerful enough to clear an oligarch from the sanctions? We can really count people who theoretically could do that using fingers on maximum 2 hands. It shall be a person very close to the Oval Office. I want to add one more question to the list in the complaint. Why Smith was chosen to prosecute Trump? Is it possible that he was told, kill Trump, chances to become the next president, or your crimes will be prosecuted and you will end up in prison for life? Can you imagine how important to Smith will be to stop Trump? Like life or death important. I cannot be 1000% sure all that is true. However, it looks bad. Bad for the US, bad for the White House, bad for the Department of Justice, bad even for the Hague International Court. Didn't they know anything? No one ever told them that there is a crime being conducted under their noses? Or maybe judges and clerks of the court were on the take? Maybe the whole United Nations criminal system is on the take. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm leaving you with more questions than answers. What will happen next? Would the complaint be investigated? Would Hillary again escape the punishment? Would Smith be taken off whatever he is doing now and investigated? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, despite all efforts by Democratic Party of the United States, Trump is rising in poll after poll. They tried to take him off the ballots in several states, didn't work. They are trying to prosecute him. Looks like it will go in flames like both impeachments. What is left? Will they go the same way their predecessors went with John Fitzgerald Kennedy? I hope Trump understands that the stakes are high for many of them. His presidency may mean a real persecution of their real crimes against America. And if what we heard is true, then against Kosovo, and God knows how many other countries as well. I pray Trump will come to the White House and start cleaning the deep state or the Augean stables of problems of our society. Amen. Until next time.